With everything on fire and on sale at the same time, the most important thing that we can learn about playing both sides of the market is not strategy. So let's talk about what's going on. Greetings, and salutations to you, my brothers and sisters. And oh my gosh, what a market we've got going on. And I tell you what, it has been a rough week. And it's so weird because the market's up, the market's down, there's stocks just bucking the trend. And it has been an interesting time. There are stocks at 52-week lows all over the place. And I know it looks like a rough time in the portfolio, but the fact of the matter remains is this is a great time to get in and get into stocks and get into selling put options and get in on to. There is going to be an upside. There's got to be a morning after. So let's look at what happened in the market. We look at the SPYs once again down 1%, a little bit over 1%, maybe 1.5%. And we once again see the Qs, the QQQ, boom, the tech sector down again. What are we down in the tech sector? A 4% drop once again. And IWM, who's been kind of a little bit of a darling, finished basically unchanged. So there has been a rough week if in your stock portfolio. Now, there are great gems like Apple, who has actually had a pretty decent week, and others who have had a good, solid, strong week. Financial started out so strong, and then they threw up all over themselves at the end of the week. If you look at most of them, they're up somewhere, your Goldman Sachs, your JP Morgans, they're up somewhere around 1% for the week, but not FinTech. FinTech didn't get the memo. They're down like SoFi. It's down. What's got SoFi down 8% this week. So it's just a really weird mixed bag of tricks, and it's hard to trade both sides of the market. And the one thing you've got to make sure and do is keep your buying power. You've got to keep buying power, dry powder on the sideline. You can't get that thing down low. You can't get into a position where you can't roll your puts that you've got on. For myself, the Rigetti puts that I have on, that they're too far underwater now, so I'd rather roll them than take the shares. So if you get a little bit too far underwater, rolling is my answer. That's usually my defense mechanism. If it's only $100 or $1 under the strike or something reasonable, I'll just take the shares. But it's completely up to you. That's however you play, however you play your hand. But it's time to, if you get that buying power too low, it's all over. I say it all the time. I can't stress it enough. And if you've been through it, you know exactly. You're shaking your head. Yes, right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you just get slammed and you have to sell off things at a bad loss, and then you have a little tiny bit of buying power and you hope tomorrow is not the same way. It's a never-ending cycle, it seems like, and it's absolutely brutal, and it can burn your account to the ground. So don't get too far over to where your buying power, you don't have, 50%, 20%, 30%, whatever your guideline is. Keep it strong. You can't underestimate. If you're selling naked puts and you're doing these types of strategies that are undefined risk, and the market goes against you, like it has several times in this past month, it can really eat up your buying power. It can really burn your account down, and you finish in a deficit. It's going to be tough. So please keep it in check. Keep what you're doing in line with your sizing. Don't get too big. Don't get too big on one thing, but main thing is maintaining the buying power that you have. So and we look at the stocks like SpaceX. SpaceX has had an incredibly rough week. SpaceX, we've got down 15% for the week. They had a failure to launch. So there were people like, oh my goodness, SpaceX. I've said it here before. I'll say it again. I liked it at 150. I absolutely love it at this price now. I think it's a great sale. And what people are failing to mention inside of that failure to launch was exactly what we've been talking about. It is exactly the data centers that they were going to put into space. The first ones, the satellites that are data centers. That is the main thing. And the headline for me got buried among all the other nonsense. So SpaceX is still exactly a great play, especially that they're already trying to push those data centers into space and get that going. I mean, that's way ahead of schedule. That's a remarkable thing to me, and it's wonderful. Google, here's another great example of that exact same kind of thinking. Google is something we don't talk about too much. It's a Mag 7, it's always going to be a good buy. It's always a strong product. But Google fell, what was it, 8%? Yeah, 8% this week, and Google fell 8%, but nobody noticed or mentioned that Google just bought the biggest land that's going to be dedicated to a solar farm. The biggest land in the United States of a solar farm they just purchased and are going to use that for their solar energy. It's absolutely what we've been talking about. Solar is a little backdoor play. Shockingly, it's down too. I mean, everything's down. The stocks we look at are all down. IBM. Good God, IBM. I don't know what. Nothing happened to IBM so severe that it took a 25% tumble. 27% tumble in 1 week. Now they just, they was going so well for them. 27% tumble, and what do? They go ahead and grab all the quantum stocks that they're now associated with and drag everybody else down. Our poor Brigetti down 15%. D-Wave down 17%. Even little QS down 8%. But that's okay. Yes, things like that happen. We look at some of our favorite energy play. Bloom Energy down 10%, down 30% for the month. Oklo down 15%. Even other plays. APLD down 15%. We got UMAC down 5.5% this week. We love USAR, but it's down 15%. Even Fuel Cell, who we keep getting in and out of, it's down 10% this week. But the point of the matter is, this is a golden opportunity for you as a premium seller, as a put seller. You just can't do the wrong strategy. Don't start doing, naked calls. Don't start doing strangles, because if this stock is way down here and it's setting up perfectly at this bottom and it's beat down and it's kicked around, you don't know how much it's going to pop. It could jump, 10-15% in a day. Something like an APLD can absolutely jump 10% in a heartbeat. So don't get over on that naked call side trying to do strangles or something, or even iron condors. Even though the risk is defined, you don't know how high these are going to jump. True, we don't know how far they're going to sink either, but we're starting to feel like, my goodness, that's so cheap, I've got to get in. And for myself, you got to get in a couple shares on these. If Oklo is going to be, at the price that it is, I've got to get in there and buy some of it. I like Oklo. And, you can go out and just buy the shirt that you love at full price, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that because you love the shirt. But if that shirt's on sale, well, heck yes, give me that shirt. Give me 2 of them. And then if we see that shirt on clearance, well, absolutely, I'm going to snatch it up because it is a great deal. And these stocks all over the place. We just mentioned a few. Just take your pick. There's all kind of great deals all over the market because everything is so low. But as we always say here, don't just rush in and buy something on a whim. Don't just run in and have some FOMO and feel like you're going to miss out on something. So what if you miss out? There's plays in the market every single day of every single nature and sector and everything all around. So take your time. Look at these different stocks that we've been talking about. There are some sweet deals in there right now. Don't be afraid to get in there, throw a little bit of coin in there, get you some stock. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. We're just talking about a great opportunity in the stock market because it's so down. We keep talking about the SPYs down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit each week, but your portfolio is probably down more than a little bit if you're kind of a bullish person. If you're a bearish-sided person, well, then you've been having a few great weeks, but that's just the ebb and flow of the market. As long as you're able to keep your buying power in check, you're able to defend the positions that you may have in questions. Sure that, your stock you may got to put on, it went way down and it may be underwater right now. But if you set your dates right and you've got a couple weeks left and you have your buying power, well, you just simply just roll that out in time and until you think it has a better chance of coming around. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I've rolled puts, 10 times. So, don't worry about it. Just defend the position. It'll come back around. And right now, everything being such a great deal, I hope that you have some dry powder to really take advantage of the opportunity that's before you. I'm not saying when the bell rings, go in there and start buying things like crazy, because it might drop another 50 cents, dollar, whatever you're watching, who knows. But make sure, don't get in too deep on a heavy stock that's too big for your portfolio. Don't spend too much of your buying power. And, don't do the wrong strategy. Don't start going on the wrong side right now when we're expecting some kind of bounce. We could still be expecting, who knows. There's always risk in everything, but after these things are so far down, 52 weeks lows are really a good place to start looking. And maybe you have a few other indicators like, your 200-day moving average or whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying it's a great opportunity. The sale is on. I know it seems like it's on fire. I know, there's a lot of doom and gloom talk around always whenever you have these red things, but hey, let the bears have a week and it's okay. Let the bears bears have their time, and it's okay because a lot of these stocks have already run up. I mean, good God, I mean 50, 100% over the course of time. So to have a little bit of a pullback, not that tragic. Keep your chin up. I hope it's going well for you. Look into those stocks. There's some great bargains out there. I hope you get them. So we'll see you next time here on Trading in Your Future.